you need to know that you're interested in dietetics and nutrition. You can't just come into it thinking, oh yeah, you know, I kind of are into health. I'm super, I want to be a dietitian. Like, you really need to be invested in it and committed to it, because the jobs are so few and far between when you come out. Not being motivated, not being fully committed to it, you're going to flounder and likely fail. So for anyone looking to get into dietetics, male or female, you just need to be committed to the cause and willing to put in additional work, because you're not guaranteed a job the moment you graduate.
Well, you've got to like the snack to start with. If you're going to be eating, you've got to be eating something that you like to eat, particularly when you're trying to lose weight, because you can't eat and you shouldn't be eating a lot. So in terms of a good snack for weight loss, I generally go fruit, dairy or nuts as my ideal snacks, merely just because it ticks a lot of boxes and you don't want to be wasting your energy on food that's useless. So people might be wanting to have like a rice cake or some popcorn. Well, they're not ideal just because they're not adding a lot of value. If they add value to your mood and your brain and you love them, go for it. But yeah, they have to be ticking boxes for me to include them in someone's weight loss plan.
I think the path with feedback is that if you can use it not as something that's going to break you down, but actually build you up and make you a better person, or make you a better clinician, or make you a better friend, or a better mum, or a better dad, or whatever, like it's using it as something that actually is a positive experience. And I think traditionally the way that it's been delivered is negatively. And so anyone that hears feedback and they're like, oh shit, here we go. Feedback can be positive. I get lots of feedback that is positive all the time. A lot of people want that negative feedback, but then they don't know what to do with that negativity. So in terms of feedback and moving forward and why people don't like it, because it's slightly unsettling. It does break down a lot of barriers and the walls that you might have. Can it make you a better person? 100%.
Generally, if you're a student or new grad and you're shadowing someone, it will generally be, whether it be in a hospital setting or a private practice, but you're there to learn. So make sure that that's what you're doing and not, I guess, judging too much what is happening. Instead, just trying to absorb everything you possibly can. So clinically, you should know most of the stuff, because generally when you're shadowing someone, unless it's in a specialty area, it's going to be quite general. Chronic disease, weight management stuff. So you're going to know the clinical side quite well anyway. But the important thing when shadowing is to identify how that dietitian communicates, both with their body language, but also how they react to the other client, as well as how they use their tone, their pitch, their delivery to actually execute on the goals of that consultation.
If it makes you feel better, then yes. If it makes your throat feel better, if that's the issue, if it just is generally tasty and you want to have it and you're increasing your fluids because of it, then cool, keep going. But outside of that, there is no real additional benefit. We ask them what they're eating, so it depends on where they're at, what stage of surgery, post-surgery recovery that they are at. So if they were in the, let's say the fluid phase, it might be, have you opened your bowels yet? If so, all right, good. How was it? Not too bad. Okay, great. So you would talk about strategies around each of those different phases. You would discuss hydration. You would want to know how they're going in terms of bowels and urine to make sure they're keeping on top of that. What other questions you would want to know? How they're coping. Any mental or psychosocial issues, because sometimes that can play a part into their recovery. And then outside of that, I mean, every other normal question you would ask, you would just be targeting it towards their surgery, their stage of recovery, and their progress.
Meet people,
Yep.
Get my name out there. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think the work experience is a good one to get your name out there.
Yeah.
So I've said it several times, but like just going to the DAA website or the SDA website and just finding the people close to you and just hit up every single one. But I did 2 years of work experience prior to actually graduating. So that's what I did, like a full year of like just me driving between here and Goldie. Like I'd go to Goldie for like a half hour and then drive back.
What is it like to work in a hospital?
Depends on where you work.
What I would think you should do with side effects.
Is that a good answer?
So, but yeah, like 100%. And I think you getting clients that have previously been seen, it's just like treat them like a new client.
Yeah.
Like just go, hey, look, I know some of this will be probably things you've covered previously, but just so that I know where you're at, I just want to go through everything.
Yeah.
Start off with what they actually want to achieve. Get them talking first around like, hey, look, probably the biggest thing that I want to know is what goal do you want to achieve?
But no, I mean, look, there's value in changing the pace of your eating. If you're someone that is not overly hungry, then maybe eating faster is a good thing, because then you're less inclined to become fuller. Sorry, I tend to encourage my clients to actually have quite low appetite to try and increase the speed of eating so we can get more in before they feel full. So there's a counter for you. If you're someone that struggles to feel full or sated after a meal, then slowing down can be really handy, because as everyone talks about, it takes 20 minutes to register. Well, it does to a point, but it's more the hormonal flow-on effect of eating slowly, which kind of kicks in that feeling of being full a little bit earlier than if you just smash it. So it's learning them to be able to know how you can manipulate the behaviours and the different personality types to actually get where you need to get. And perhaps the most interesting part, it's personality management, and then manipulation of what you say based on that person and how you say it. Not necessarily always explaining the why. Like some of them is just like, just tell me what I need to do. Like if you told those last ones, you really need to go out and eat eggplant.
Yeah. They would have done it.
Oh, 100%. Because they sit there laughing it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so you adjust things.